Good morning, my brothers and sisters. On this, the next episode of GMG TV since the forming of the GMGU. This, of course, is, thank you, grammar, the Good Morning Guys podcast, and we are going to be talking about not just the fifth, not just the sixth, but also the seventh episode of Marvel's She-Hulk, Attorney at Law.
And definitely not the fourth.
Nope. We left that train a long time ago. Get out of here, fourth. Ugly number 4. Thank you so much for joining us on this fine morning, after, evening, or night. I am one of your hosts, the transition transponster, Lucas Ham Swisher. With me also the judge, the jury, and executioner of everything about nothing, Patrick Novosel.
That's me.
That is you. And our final member of the GMG Quadfecta, he's got the Kevin Conroy voiced Dark Knight in his heart, Mark Hamill's Joker laugh on his brain, and mulligatawny soup in his always stomacho, Mark Boucher.
I don't have mulligatawny soup in my stomach.
Well, you should. If you're a real Batman fan, you'd have it in your stomach all the time, son.
Jeez.
I don't know why I took that tone.
He's only like,
just
what,
went with
6 years older than me?
Hey, that's enough. In some countries, I could be your dad. Go watch out for the cougars.
That's a topic for another day.
I would love to know what countries those are.
Do you really want to know?
No, not really.
So you can avoid them. All right. I'm sorry. It's reaching my no more filter time. So it is after hours. Welcome to I already said all that stuff. So
you're about to do it again.
Welcome to the next episode of GMG TV. Oh, all right. As a warm up, I wanted to share about a show I watched this past week that I forgot to mention in life. So I'm just going to mention it here because it has to do with TV.
Now.
I'm hijacking it now.
Off topic.
But it's worth mentioning. Have you guys heard of the show Man vs. Bee?
No.
Marcus? No? It's
just
on
one
Netflix. It's Man vs. Bee. So you guys have both seen Mr. Bean, correct?
Yes.
So Rowan Atkinson is a house sitter for this really rich couple. And pretty much the whole show is about how a bee single-handedly destroys his life and his livelihood. And it is both hilarious, frustratingly frightening, and just totally off the rocker. Like, it is something else. It is classic Rowan Atkinson humor. It is very updated. So, like, you watch Mr. Bean, it's like in an old-time English home. This whole thing is set in this couple's house that he's house sitting for, and this bee just totally gets under his skin. Not literally.
Wait, hold on. This is a TV show?
It's a TV show, and they're 11-minute episodes. There's 9 11-minute episodes.
So
it's like
9 times a bee is wrecking his life?
Yeah. But in many different ways. No, you could say he's wrecking his own life, and he blames the bee for it. But it is something else, man. It is something to behold. The kids and I watched it. We laughed. There were moments where you just put your hands over your face and you're like, oh my gosh. You started sounding like Bane. Like we were in shock at some of the stuff that he does. But it was just classic. It should have just been Mr. Bean. Like, it's not Mr. Bean. It's a totally different guy. But I think it would have made it even better if it was Mr. Bean. There's some aspects of it. I want you guys to consider giving it a chance. But by the end, there were some parts where I was like, you're not Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean would have done better. But
You're not Mr. Bean.
Yeah, you're sitting on a throne of lies. It was entertaining. So I'd give it like a 7.5 out of 10. It was worth the watch. Short 11-minute episodes, 9 of them. So that's my TV warm up for us. But that's not why we're here. We're not here to talk about Mr. Bean. We are here to talk about Mrs. Green, the Green Machine, She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, episodes 5, 6, and 7. So let's jump right into it. We're going to give spoilers. We're going to give our rating in progress by the end. Hopefully you remembered what your former scores were if you're going to adjust accordingly, or if you're just going to say whatever you want. There are no rules. We don't really have rules on here. It's a garbage truck on fire. But so let's jump into episode number 5, which was called Mean, Green, and straight poured into these jeans. What a title. It was like a mouthful of a title. Pretty much the short end of it is that Jen Walters has discovered that Titania is suing her for the rights to her own name, having trademarked She-Hulk at some point for her line of beauty products. And just chaos ensues of her trying to go up against Titania in a court of law, as is tradition. So, guys, what'd you think of episode 5? I know it was a couple weeks ago. Patrick did a little wheezy laugh, so he's obviously thinking of something. Patrick, share with the class. What are your thoughts?
This episode was just so simple. Like this, it was, like they were in the courtroom and they were talking about the dating app that she had put together, which helped her win the case. I'm like, this is because I'm in the middle of watching Seinfeld, where each Seinfeld episode means nothing, and this felt like an episode where it was just like, you know what, we're just gonna throw in something, and just for story's sake. And I thought this was a funny episode. I loved how it was just random, like you said. She's Titania is using the She-Hulk name for her beauty products, and we're going to court for this. Like, this is it's so random. But yeah, I think it was just a simple storyline, and that's like this shows. It's so unexpectedly good for me, where it's there's no like action really in this episode. I don't even know if there's any action in this episode.
I don't think there was. I was kind of surprised by the end of it. That was one thing that I remembered. I was like, man, we didn't get a little fight, like a little, because spoilers at the end, Titania loses, and because of the dating app, because she had used the name She-Hulk in the dating app. That was enough, which I'll have to say, every one of the court scenes and court cases have felt pretty loosey-goosey, and just kind of like, we're just making up the rules as we go. Mm-hmm. It's like, that's how we're going to win the case. And I'm like, that's fine. It's, it's a part of the bit. It matches up and connects with past, stories and past episodes. It's all good. But I thought maybe, Titania would get upset and they'd have another courtroom fight or something. But we saved that for episode 6. Spoilers. So, Mark, what did you think of episode 5?
Yeah, I thought it was fairly funny. I agree with Pat. It's like there's some background stuff going on, like lore of some kind, that of course we'll get into in the later episodes. But ultimately it's just a fun and silly episode. Just another way that we can squeeze law into things. Yeah. No, it's a lot of fun. I love the B plot where they're trying to get superhero stuff.
Get an outfit for her.
Yeah, get an outfit for
more versatile, less frumpy outfit than what she's wearing.
Did we? I mean, I thought it was gonna be more exciting, like the outfit that she was gonna get.
Yeah, it wasn't at all.
Yeah, like this guy's like this tailor for superheroes, and it felt like it was done. I mean, like Peter Parker created a suit that is much better than what this guy who his livelihood for superheroes did for She-Hulk. Like,
it looked like a blouse from Target. Like, nothing against Target. I like Target clothes, but that's what it looked like.
That's not her final suit.
Well, no, I know it's not her final suit, but
okay.
But he made her like a variety of things that I thought she wore like one of them in the next episode to the wedding.
I think
did she not?
Yeah.
And it kind of looked like a dress from Target still. Like,
yeah.
But it's one that like you notice it fits her both as Jen and as She-Hulk.
I wouldn't say it does.
It doesn't fit that much better. I didn't think. I'm not a fashion consultant.
Fairly loose.
My wife will tell you that I am almost the furthest from fashion consulting. So yeah. So I take it with a grain of salt. But it was just like, I don't really see the wow of it. But I'm sure she'll have, like, by episode 9.
Yeah, that's suit. the other suit that they're referring to that
right.
she's never gonna wear, all that kind of thing.
Yeah, I get it.
But no, I enjoyed this episode. I want an Avengers t-shirt really bad.
Oh, that was
or Avengers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Avengers and Avengers.
Yeah, that was a pretty fun part where they're just like, yeah, we got this
Knockoff.
we got this knockoff stuff. I mean, I grew up with like a Gabriel Brothers like 30 minutes from my house, and we would, I don't know if you guys ever went to Gabriel Brothers, but
Yeah.
it was reject stuff from the factory where they had genuinely messed up, like where one sleeve is longer than the other. I found like these really cool mechanic shirts with like another handyman with Ken on the side. Like I wore a bunch of those kind of shirts during college. I love those little knockoff shirts and stuff. So that's what that kind of reminded me of.
Yep.
Yeah, this episode was fine. I mean, I'm at this point by this episode, I've already talked about it. I'm just kind of like, okay, it's kind of simple, straightforward. It feels a little too simple and straightforward, but at the same time, it is lighthearted. It is fun. If it were a 6-episode deal, like with the other series, I would probably be even harder on it, but it's 9 episodes. So they got a little more space to add some fun and do some things that just have nothing to do with nothing. It's not quite like Seinfeld, but there are times when I'm like, it's feeling like Seinfeld with some of the conversations, but this one I liked, and this is, I think, where things have started to swing at least to a little more positive route for me.
Yeah.
Madison with a Y didn't show up, so I was happy about that, even though some joiners might disagree. We'll get to them here in a few. But yeah, so that's episode 5. How about episode 6 called Just Jen, where Walter / She-Hulk is a bridesmaid for a friend, an old friend that I don't think is a
are they
current
friends?
friend. I mean, it's an old friend, like we used to
High
be
school
friends, but yeah, but now they're not because she was something special.
Yeah.
She was a bridezilla a little bit, but yeah, she pretty much goes to this wedding. The wedding is crashed by Titania, and then we finally get the fight that we've been looking for. And then in the midst of this, there's also a court case with Mr. Immortal, who,
Oh my gosh.
who was definitely part of the humor of this with his, what was it like?
He just jumps out of windows just to
Yeah.
avoid things. Like,
Yeah,
avoids
just be like, you know what?
conflicts,
I can't handle this,
confrontation.
so I'm just going to jump out of this window and die for a second. But I think he divorces like, this is like 5 or 6 wives and a husband. Like, it's just like, it's just room full of current and former spouses that he's dealing with and having fallout with.
and all they wanted was an apology.
Yeah.
Yeah, just look me in the eye.
15 seconds.
15 seconds of uninterrupted eye contact.
So we're actually going to make it 20.
Yeah.
So one thing we actually didn't touch upon in, I think it was episode 4. Yeah. And then when we came
Oh, we are going to talk about episode 4. Are we talking about episode 4?
Episode 5. Episode 5.
me.
Episode 5.
Okay.
Episode 5.
What did we miss? Tell us.
One thing we didn't touch on, I think in episode 5, because that was the episode where she got the new outfits, right?
Oh, right at the end.
And there was a little bit of a tease for about a particular hat box. that
With
contained-
a mask.
Yeah, containing a mask.
So Daredevil's got a yellow suit?
Yeah, that's one of his
Mustard
different-
suit?
Yeah, his
that
different
like-
costumes is a
don't like
yellow
it.
and red suit. Yeah, it's not my favorite, but I
don't
think
get it.
He's the reverse Flash suit.
Oh, gosh.
no, there's
Is he going to like shake his face so you can't see what he looks
I
like?
hope not.
Hey, guys, I'm here. Oh, that hurts my neck. I got to stop doing it.
It actually comes off pretty well though on through like internet streaming. Like your face is like legit going blurry.
Yeah, that's what it looked like it was. I couldn't tell if it was just me moving. Like it just looked better.
But no, that's one of his variant outfits that he's got in the comics that I don't really care for that suit, but I think Marvel's gonna do it in a tasteful way, I suppose, as much as you can. And I don't. It's red and yellow, so it's not like all yellow suit. But to me, the full red suit looks the best. But in any case, it's a hint of him coming, and he's not even in this episode.
Yeah, and the other thing is, they showed him in a trailer.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it kind of takes away from, okay, there's the mask, but you showed us his full body in the trailer. So I'm just kind of like.
But it's just kind of
All right.
annoying. Like,
think
he's coming.
all right.
He's coming. But he's
I
not.
said it at the beginning.
Yeah.
I think it might have been episode 1 when we did the review of that one. Is I think this is going to be a lead into the Daredevil series. I don't, it might. He's probably going to show up way late in the series.
Yeah.
Or this in the season.
Well, at this point, he is going to show up way late because we only have 2 episodes left.
Yeah, and that's what that's. I think it's just going to be a lead in.
Yep.
Yeah, and is it just me? Like, maybe I'm forgetting, but I feel like the past few times I've expected there to be a post credits something, and there's not been anything. It's just
my
come to
wife says the same thing.
Georgia
why
Peach.
is there not?
Just something. It doesn't even have to be meaningful. It's just become a standard for me, and now I feel like everything should have a.
You know what?
post-credit.
I don't know. Let's go back
scene.
to while we're on episode 5, and this guy who's the tailor for all these superheroes, and he does this yellow Daredevil suit. It's like, man, I do not like this guy at all. This guy's making. I don't like any of his designs. Who is this guy? Why is he the one doing these superhero suits?
I think he's a fake person. Like in terms of,
he's a scroll.
He's
Oh
a
my
scroll.
gosh.
No, that's not where I was going. I was not going there. But now that you say that, I can totally see that.
Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
who else would have that bad a taste but a scroll who doesn't know anything about
Jen is a scroll
Human
because they can
fashion.
do whatever they want.
If you look at the actual like design of his helmet, of his mask or whatever, like the paint, it's like all scratched and stuff. Like it's not even a nice paint job.
maybe he's repairing it.
But it's in a nice hat box,
Yeah,
Maybe that's to hide it.
I suppose.
No, but
Client
I'm-
confidentiality.
I was saying he's fake because he says he did all these suits for, I can't remember who he tried to name drop, but those people weren't even there to vouch for him. He was just fake name dropping, and he actually's only done like Polka Dot Man's outfit or
He's the
something
real
like
villain.
that.
Wrong
She-Hulk.
universe, but yes, I
exactly.
agree.
You know what? You get what I'm throwing out there.
Yeah.
I do. Wow. Mhm.
So episode 6.
Oh right, yes, episode
Yes.
6.
Yep. Mhm.
We got the wedding, which is totally like, I get it, but like that you get a little fight with Titania, which was just fun, especially when she made her look like Cotton Eye Joe with her like teeth
Apparently is
all
wearing
like
veneers.
yeah, she got these crazy looking teeth.
She runs out, taking the cake. I'm taking this. Wedding
Yeah.
sucks.
Sweat sucks.
So it seems like I'm wondering when Jen is gonna meet a foe that actually can stand toe to toe against her.
Yeah.
Because so far, what's the longest anybody has lasted? I guess Titania, maybe, which
Yeah,
was like
either
15
Titania or the
seconds.
Wrecking Crew people.
Yeah, and even then, they both got one-shotted.
Yeah.
Pretty much. It was only because there were on multiple of them fighting against her with their Asgard construction worker equipment. But what did you guys think of this episode 6?
I thought
Marcus.
it was a fun little episode. It's nice to. I love the change of the credit logo of the opening credits. Instead of She-Hulk, it was just Jen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I like how they do that. Yeah.
But it was nice to have an episode that doesn't focus as much on She-Hulk a little bit, even though I know that's kind of weird, but like this show is about She-Hulk, what the heck? And I love the fourth wall break, like
Kind of sounded like Kip just then.
yeah.
Like this show's about She-Hulk.
So about She-Hulk, oh my gosh.
Gosh.
You're just jealous because I am chatting with babes online all day.
Exactly.
But yeah, I love the fourth wall break. She's like, I bet you think this is like super inconvenient for this part of the season, but all weddings are so.
And
Yeah.
it is.
And it's true. It's very true.
And no, but I thought this was a really fun episode, and of course when She-Hulk comes out and they start beating the crap out of each other, it's funny. And then of course the bride comes in and you're afraid she's gonna get all like angry and upset,
Yep.
but she's plastered.
Yep.
Yeah. One eye closed. Like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, She-Hulk is at my
She-Hulk.
wedding.
And then of course we meet Josh.
Yes. who's clearly got ulterior motives, like from the beginning.
Yeah.
I was just like, wow, all right, here we go. Let's see what happens. Spoilers for episode 7.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the end of the episode, don't they like play a little scene of stealing samples, of blood samples from She-Hulk?
Yep.
Or
at least
in
they're
episode
working
7.
Episode 6.
No, in 6. Well, in 6 they show, because that's when they
show
introduced
the scientists. They show the scientists at episode 6.
Yeah, because they introduced Intelligentsia, which is the Intelligentsia, the website where, and I think is this the first time they mention Hulk King, or did they mention Hulk King before?
Yeah, I think
in
this
like
is
a
the first time
text
they actually
or something.
mentioned Hulk King.
Yeah, so we know the main adversary is Hulk King, who's trying to get the blood. Yeah, they show the scientists who say they're gonna plan another attempt to get a blood sample. Yep. Which then goes to episode 7, The Retreat. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. This was my favorite episode of the 3 that we're talking about today.
Yes, agreed.
I very much enjoyed this episode. I have no idea still who these off-brand. This was like Mystery Men.
I don't think I've heard of any of these guys.
I didn't recognize any of them, but I did.
Manbull, the porcupine.
Aguila, yeah.
Yeah, the eagle.
Saracen.
Oh my gosh, Manbull is actually a thing in the comics.
I had a feeling
sure
that some of
was,
them were
yeah.
a thing. Like just, they got some crazy stuff in the comics. In the overall comics, like, yeah. I mean, if Polka Dot Man can be in DC, Manbull can be in Marvel.
So is El Aguila.
Yeah.
Or Aguila.
Here, El
Aguila.
Aguila. And Porcupine. Yep, and then Saracen is a vampire.
When he takes off, take off your mask. Take it off.
Oh,
Why does it smell like farts in here?
yeah. And then so we're getting ahead of ourselves. But in episode 7, The Retreat, Jen gets an emergency call from after having gotten to whatever base that is with Josh. Is it in relations with Josh?
Yep.
And then he, as is typical, he doesn't call her back. After which he's ghosting her. She's getting a little stressed out. In the midst of looking for his message, she gets a call from Blonsky's Abominations, aka Abominations, parole officer, and is called to his retreat center to see if he's changed into Abomination or something wrong with his little ankle bracelet deal.
Yeah.
And so they go there. They confirm he's cool, but then a couple off-brand superhero / super people show up and wreck her car, and she gets stuck at the retreat with no cell phone service and gets to self-reflect and get over Josh and move on with her life and become a better Jen.
I feel like a lawyer needs something better than a Prius. Just saying.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it looked nicer than a Prius. I didn't think it was a Prius till they said it was a Prius.
Yeah.
And I was like, that looks like nice. Didn't they give it wasn't there an extra word in
like
there?
A Prius Prime or something like
Primus
that.
Prime, yeah. So it's a little, little higher tech. I don't know. I don't know anything about cars. So
Autobots.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to go deeper there. You go, Autobots.
Yeah, Autobot.
Welcome to the Rock.
Wow, it is
Autobots,
not.
welcome to the Rock.
I am Optimus Prime.
When you see these stars, think of us. And come and fight. Try so hard. All right.
I did not see that crossover coming in this episode. That's
I know,
why it's our
right?
favorite.
That was so cool when he was in the sauna, when Optimus Prime was in there, like just hanging out in the sauna when she finally went in there. I love this episode. I'll just go ahead and share that I loved the Mystery Men feel to the crew of just misfit super powered people, like just hanging out. You got a vampire guy who's just saying creepy stuff. He just wants to suck people's blood. You got Mambo and El Aguila like having that like bro relationship where they're just like, maybe we should separate you, and then they never actually separate because they don't ever want to be apart. You got Porcupine being all shy and stinky. Like they were very I don't know, charming characters, or just nice group of people. Yeah. So, what did you guys think of this episode? What were your thoughts about it, Patrick?
I liked the slowness of this episode. Emil Blonsky, Eli Roth, he's so good in that character,
He
and
really is.
seeing more screen time with him in this, like, because he's reformed, and it feels like he is reformed, because of what he's doing. You don't really know. I mean, they've done some twists and turns before in this series so far, so you never know what was really going on with his ankle bracelet and things like that.
Right.
But it was a nice slow episode, and with all the characters, and all the superheroes, all their personalities, and getting Jen to like delete Josh's number from her phone. Like it was like a realization, kind of feel to it. I really enjoyed this series is like throwing me for a loop. Like, I know in the past I've been I've the gripes I've had with some of the series in the past is there's not enough action. But it's weird because my two favorite series, because She-Hulk is one of my favorite series, behind Loki and WandaVision, and I liked WandaVision because it was not the typical action show, and we're getting a lot of She-Hulk in not the way that I expected.
Yeah.
And it's done really well. The acting is really well. I mean, the dialogue is funny, and a little more funnier than I thought it would be. And it's one of these shows that my wife likes too. And I don't know, that probably has a little bit to play into it, that I can actually watch a Marvel show with the wife, because
Right.
she didn't really care for Falcon and the Winter Soldier, didn't care much for Loki. But she's into She-Hulk, and I think that has a lot to do with my love for this show too.
Yeah. Nice. Yep. Marcus, your thoughts?
Yeah, I absolutely loved this episode. I love the C and D list characters that we've got going on here, and then basically doing like a rehab kind of thing, and how She-Hulk kind of gets pulled into that, Jen gets pulled into that. Yeah, I thought this episode was great. I still don't fully trust Blonsky.
Yeah,
I still think there's something going on there.
Yeah, I'm totally waiting for him to just turn.
For the turn, yep.
Yep, for sure.
Definitely don't trust Josh anymore.
Well, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Now, so as we already alluded to, and we'll just cut to the end since you bring it up, at the end, it shows us 3 days earlier after they've done their thing and he leaves in the middle of the night. He clones her phone and somehow steals a sample of her blood, is implied?
Yeah.
I did not.
Yes.
How did he get her blood? Like, because she was asleep as Jen?
Yes.
That's how he got the blood. Did it show him, like, syringe her? I didn't get it. Like, he just put the emojis for blood and, like, thumbs up or whatever.
He somehow got it.
Well,
But
yeah. At the end of episode 6, they had they said that they were going to try a different, try it again, and they had this new needle.
Oh, that's right. They didn't have a new
needle was.
Yeah, you're right.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And just assume that they figured out how to pierce her skin.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that was like an obvious twist that probably everybody saw coming. He was just way too nice, way too like, oh yeah, I like you for you. I don't care about Hulk, and let's bond over stuff. It was very much like, Hans or whatever his name is from Frozen, trying to get with Anna, and just to bring a random Disney show movie into this. Yeah, why not? That's the closest thing I can think of, because I got kids and I like animated movies, so leave me alone. Yeah. But so we got that little twist. So we'll see who's hopefully by episode 8 or 9, we're going to find out who Hulk King is. I don't know if Josh is going to show up. Honestly, I don't really care if Josh shows up. He kind of served his purpose.
Yep.
And she's moved on from him, so move on. I was thinking, I just want to go back real quick to the retreat feel with the really misfit hero people, super people. It reminded me of, did you guys ever watch post Friends, a number of the cast did other TV shows. One of which was Matthew Perry did a show called Go On, where he had to go to like a therapy kind of deal with just a group of people that all had their little quirks and stuff like that. This episode reminded me of that show, and and not that show was, Go On lasted very long, but Mindy and I watched that show and we just really enjoyed it. So to me, I think that's like the connection I needed to another show I liked, and just really I enjoyed it. So with that, I think we can go into our in progress ratings. I'll go ahead and give mine. It notched it up a little bit with this last episode. And I think even with some of the others, I still feel it's a little too light for me. I do need a little more action. I do need a little more, I don't know if seriousness isn't the right word, because I don't need seriousness, but I need a little more weight to this. I just feel like I'm watching these 20-minute shows with like 10 minutes of credits, and I feel like, again, that thankfully it's 9 episodes, so 8 and 9 can still give a little more meat, and it'll totally make everything else worth it. So I've notched it up half, a score to 7.5 out of 10. So it's inching its way up. It could get to 8.5 out of 10 by the end. We'll see. Time will tell. We got 2 more episodes. How about you, Marcus? What is your
So I'm trying to remember
score?
what I rated it.
I think you rated it an 8.
Yeah, it's still there. I'd say it's still 8.
Or 8.5, but somewhere around there.
It's not gotten any worse or any, I'm enjoying it. It's just a general, this is a nice show. Would I like some more action? Absolutely. But, I'm still along for the ride so far, and I'm interested to see where the whole intelligentsia thing is going. Because that in the comics is it's like a almost like a B-level Legion. Nah, well, I shouldn't say B-level, but like almost like a Legion of Doom kind of thing. Like Doctor Doom and MODOK and all those guys are part of the intelligentsia. I don't think they're going that way in this regard, but maybe they'll surprise us, and maybe it is a super big bad. But I don't think it'll go necessarily that direction. But I'm interested to see where that's going. Obviously, still waiting on Daredevil. I'll be excited for when he actually does arrive, because he is coming at some point. But
and it better be more than just him flipping into the scene like it does in the trailer.
Yeah.
So
I think it's going to be more than that. I think he'll get pretty much his own episode.
Like Mando did in Boba Fett?
Basically. I mean, I think She-Hulk will be involved, heavily involved, but he'll get more of the spotlight.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I'm still along for the ride. Still enjoying it.
Yep. Patrick.
This is 9 out of 10 for me. I absolutely love this show. I thought, like I said, I liked more action. Maybe if there was more action, it might be higher than a 9. It could, 9.5 maybe. But overall, I'm really enjoying the slowness is not really the right word. It's change of pace. I think the change of pace for this series is really fun.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 for me. Yeah.
There you go, folks. You heard it here first. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Try not to.
Oh, bless
you.
Woo! Had to bring snot into the situation just one last time.
Yep.
Before we wrap things up. On the old Discord and on the old Twitter sphere, we had a few joiners that wanted to share their thoughts. Isaac Allistic, old Infinity Bro Isaac, said, "I've been really enjoying it. A nice breath of fresh air in the MCU. Really reminds me of when shows were on TV instead of streaming. Looking forward to seeing how the show wraps up." I agree with that. It does have an old-timey TV feel. Old back in the 90s and early 2000s, early aughts.
It's like Ally McBeal.
Yeah, it totally reminds me of that too. Bernabe El Ronchas Butters said, "I hope Madison with a Y comes back as a wizard or something."
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
I'm going to agree to disagree.
A wizard with a Y, not where you think.
No, man. I can see him
What
totally
if she
making that
was
joke. What if she does say that?
Addison the wizard.
Oh, gosh, barf. I'm going to go back down to 7 out of 10, maybe 6.
Oh, man.
6.5 out of 10.
6.5 out of 10 responses from Pat.
Yep. Humar Whittle. Oh, Cameron, I have really enjoyed it. I like that most of the weeks feel self-contained. Tatiana has done fantastic in the role, and I like the fourth wall breaks. Nice. Yeah. They're definitely every episode. They got a guaranteed fourth wall break, usually right at the beginning. I like that. Just kind of set the tone. And then, excuse me while I meander here. Let's see.
Stalling for time.
Something for time. Splig at Dobelicious said, not enough twerking. Didn't watch, but people aren't losing their minds over it. Okay. Nope, I think there was just the right amount of twerking. Thank you for sharing, Splig. We don't need any more of that. All right. Quiley Cox at QCox498. I really like the show. Just waiting to see how they will use Daredevil in the show.
And
Right there with you.
I have a theory.
Oh, let's hear it. Ooh, throw out the theories. Who is a Skrull?
So I don't. It seems way too on the nose, but could Kingpin be involved in the whole Hulk King?
Ooh,
And that's how Daredevil comes into play.
that's possible.
I think
It
that's
seems too on the nose.
But
for
the
it
show's
to
about
be.
being on the nose, so
Yeah.
so
It
far
could-
it's not disappointed.
Not out of the realm of possibility.
where he is. I mean, like that is a thing Kingpin would do.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I mean, the last time we saw him, spoilers, even though we've already spoiled this and we've already said that stuff in the past is open, but he lost in a fight against.
Sure did.
Who was it against? I'm blanking now. It feels like so long ago. Against
That would
Hawkeye?
have been Kate Bishop.
Kate Bishop Hawkeye, yes. Yeah, he lost in a fight against a girl, so he's going to need all the extra juice he can get to get stronger. So I think it totally makes sense, and I wouldn't be mad at that.
Or it could be Blonsky.
Ooh, you think he's okay?
It's possible. Like I
You
said,
think he's
I still
he's
don't
already
trust-
tough enough though, right?
I don't know. Maybe he's I don't know. He's
I mean,
been
even
roped into something. I mean, he's still. I don't know. It just seems weird that they continue to have Blonsky in here just to be a side character where he's reforming from Abomination.
Yeah.
It just seems like he's in here for a reason.
I don't
know.
think
I
he's necessary.
think he's genuine. No, I was just gonna say I think he's actually being genuine.
If they make a turn, I don't think he's Hulk King.
Oh, okay. No. Maybe he is a part
Yeah.
of the organization.
Now he could still make a turn in these last 2 episodes, but I think to this point he's being genuine. But I think his
He has a motive. There's a motive.
there's something going on,
Something
or there's
there.
something that could just turn it in the blink of an eye.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I got you.
But I mean, that would
All right.
that would just support my original theory that this is a lead in to Daredevil. So if Kingpin is behind it all, and then there's what Daredevil comes in. Maybe he's
Sure.
not going to be because with Attorney at Law, you think, oh, okay, you got an attorney in Daredevil, but maybe that's not the angle they're going for.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why have 2 attorneys? I don't know.
All right.
Who knows?
Well, we're just gonna have to wait and see. So next time we chat about this, it'll be episodes 8 and 9, not episode 4, just in case you're wondering. I think that is all for our hulked out discussion of the latest in the MCU. If you'd like to join in the convo about it, let's do some quick housekeeping where we offer you Taos Fluff pillows topped with Andy's candies and tip you off to how you can connect with the GMGU. On Twitter, Discord, Facebook, and Instagram, you can share what's new with you. If you'd rather connect visually, there is YouTube and Twitch, where Mark is playing some games. I'm playing some games. Chris the Rock's playing some games as well. At random times, you'll find us there. Click the links. You can also check us out on Patreon and our merch page. You can support and gear up with us. So click that one link to rule them all in the show notes or type it out, linktr.com/thegmgpod. Of course, if you can't touch? I make up words every single time and it's always different. Oh gosh. If you can't toss your attention or a coin to your podcasters, but are still the giving type, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, and Spotify. Helps us reach new joiners through stars, exclamation marks, and your feedback. So let your voice be heard literally at 929 GMG guys if you do so choose. Alrighty then, Pat, Mark, and you, our beloved friends, family, and joiners, go get your good morning this week, and may God bless and guide your lives as you live, as you work, as you stream, and as I mispronounce every single word that comes out of my mouth.